Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, purchasing energy healing, readings, merchandise, all the many ways that you guys support me, talking to me on social media, Facebook, IG, all that stuff. I totally appreciate it. This is the general reading for the period of Sunday, December 1st. Can you believe it? Seriously, the year, the decade, everything is about to be over. It's incredible to me how fast it went. Anyway, December 1st through Saturday to come, December 7th. Before I get into this week's reading, I have to make a little bit of an announcement. I'm probably going to post a poll very soon inquiring as to your thoughts on my ceasing to provide the weekly general and love readings. And the reason that I'm considering not doing it anymore is because effective December 10th, which is only like in time for next week's videos, YouTube is implementing a new policy. Whereas if a channel is not producing enough money for them, and I don't know what they're going to consider enough money, they are reserving the right to not only cancel one's channel should they feel like it, but one's Google account, period. So even those of you, many of you who are watching me perhaps in danger of losing your YouTube channel and your Google account if you save stuff on Google, because basically they're tired of providing storage, for paying for storage for everybody. Everybody except those who make the money. So again, I don't know by what measure that's going to be, but also because of YouTube / Google. And it's definitely since Google became involved, because I've been on YouTube since early 2016, like the beginning of the year. And at that time, they were not owned by Google, and YouTube was a lot better. It's a lot better to become somebody, to get your videos out there, to become, more known to people that you were actually recording and publishing. The notifications readily went out. It was just a lot better. As soon as Google got involved, the customer service, everything was on a decline. And it's not everybody, but it's not just me either, whose channels suffered, because of it. Where, like, if I post a video and it does get out there, my videos, when they, reach people, are tremendously successful, They're not just out there not being, watched and liked and all that kind of stuff. But when they don't get out there, I just don't have the views that I possibly may need in order to stay on YouTube. And I certainly can't risk losing my entire Google account, to post videos that no one's going to watch. So, yeah, I'm considering that. I'm not looking for empathy or anything like that, though, because I am a firm believer in, I always end up, where and how I'm supposed to be. So if the universe put me here, literally told me on March 10th, 2016 to get on here and start this. Very, very literally. And it will tell me, whether literally or otherwise, if it's time for me to get off, like completely. Or, if it's time for me to change course and do things a little bit differently. So I am thinking about doing things a little differently, like I said, and maybe ceasing to do the general reading and the love reading, because I don't have any problems right now with people clicking on the moon readings, for example. I think the last moon reading got like 20,000 views, and the last weekly general got like 200 views. You see the difference. The astrological readings tend to get, 4,000 or 5,000 views a piece, many of the signs. Some of the signs don't. So maybe one day I'll even consider not doing all the signs. Like, my fellow Geminis, for example, if y'all don't want to watch me, maybe I won't do Gemini. Maybe I'll just do the signs that I know are going to watch me, that are extremely popular, like Capricorn, for example. Or actually, all the Earth signs are pretty. I'm pretty popular with all the Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo as well. But you get the idea. I'm just making an example. So I may put out a poll, or I may just, do something on my own. So this is kind of like I don't want to say a warning, like, ooh, you could lose this. But at the same time, yeah, it's a warning. And, perhaps if you don't want that to happen, some of you will share even more, than you already are. Make sure that you don't forget to like the video before you leave, so that, hopefully it can end up in YouTube's feeds, or they will notice me, remember that I'm on here, and send out notifications. I get notifications on some other people that I'm not even subscribed, and like all through the week I'm getting notifications about their video that they posted like days and days prior. I don't get it. I don't understand why my subscribers don't get theirs. From a 3D standpoint, I don't understand. I understand, in general. I get it. You know what I mean? Anyway, on to the reading. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. That is December 10th. Those policies go into effect. It's not just for me. It is YouTube's policies across the board, worldwide. They're going to be canceling people's accounts, and in some cases canceling their entire Google account. All right. This week there's nothing that I'm going to talk about on the Hebrew, Christian, or Islamic calendar. So we're going to go straight to the planetary calendar, the celestial calendar, beginning with December 2nd at 1:20 p.m. when Jupiter enters Capricorn. And actually that's it this week. I thought we had something else, but it turns out that's next week. Next week's reading, we have Jupiter square Chiron and Mercury entering Sagittarius. If I'm back with this next week, maybe I won't be. That's another thing. In terms of what the universe wants me to do and what the universe doesn't want me to do, it could have me to stop these videos to actually give me more time, because there's videos that I've wanted to do for you guys that I thought I was going to get time to do over the past couple of months. When I already made some changes, I said, oh, I'm going to get to do all these videos now. And I did put up a couple. I put up a couple of specials and stuff, sort of, in old original Queen of Swords fashion. But I didn't do nearly what I wanted to do. And this week, for the first time, probably in all 3 years that I've been on, I didn't do the moon reading. That's not like me. I didn't even get my nails done. And I always get my nails done with the new moon transit, the new moon or the full moon. I'm still in Taurus, Taurus full moon, decor. So, and the reason for that is because I had so many, again, this is not a complaint. I'm thankful. I had so many personal readings to do, so many personal healings to do, that, when I had to prioritize and like, okay, do I do the moon reading first? And sometimes I would elect to do the moon reading first. Like, let me get that out of the way since that's for the public, and then I'll do the individual ones. But I just had so much. And then the holidays, and, my parents visited, and my son's girlfriend over for the first family function, and met my mother and all this kind of stuff. And I just didn't, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't. I still may do it because it just feels weird not having done a moon reading. But, being moved to cease to do these, especially if I don't get like response back, like, no, please don't stop doing them. We're going to share it. We're going to do what we can to get it out there. Maybe that's to free me up for more client readings, for more energy healing, for a million other things that I do and or am capable of doing, should somebody want me to. I can perform weddings and stuff. I'm joking, but I can, All right, so back to this. Let's talk about what it means for Jupiter to be entering Capricorn. And for that, I'm going to www.tarot.com. This is something that they posted on November 26, 2019, written by the tarot.com staff. So they don't have anybody particular to attribute it to here. And it is called Jupiter in Capricorn, conservative, mature, and driven. So we'll remember that Venus is also in Capricorn. And on the 24th of the month, I mentioned in last week's general reading, they had a transit where they could be seen in the sky sort of together, like they were on a date or something. And now they're both going to be located in Capricorn. So I think things are getting hot and steamy and interesting. Jupiter in Capricorn, conservative, mature, and driven. Astrologically, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, and optimism, known as the greater benefit. It symbolizes good luck and fortune. In the ancient Indian language of Sanskrit, Jupiter is also known as guru or teacher. This is fitting considering its association with the higher mind, philosophy, truth, and religion. Perhaps Jupiter's good fortune comes from its ability to give us a larger view in which to see the world. The expansiveness of Jupiter is restrained in Capricorn because our thoughts are limited to ideas that can actually be turned into reality. This could put a damper on fantasies, schemes, and dreams that entertain the mind but distract from earthbound reality. Capricorn wants measurable results and is especially skeptical about unproven concepts. We'll see the biggest rewards when we make careful plans and stick to them during Jupiter's transit through Capricorn. I'm always talking about how admirable it is to me the way that earth signs, maybe particularly Capricorn being the workhorse of the zodiac, to me, I find it extremely admirable the way that they're able to plan and then to commit to those plans and actually see them all the way through. That's certainly not a Gemini trait, you know. So I admire it. Anyway, persistence is one of Capricorn's strengths. Yes, allowing us to overcome obstacles when we're clear about what we want and how to go about getting it. Unlike the huge leaps forward we took during Jupiter in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Capricorn is a time of moving at a more measured pace. The moralistic and philosophical aspects of Jupiter take a conservative turn in tradition-loving Capricorn. We won't just hope or think about things. We'll feel a pull to take action on them. Jupiter in Capricorn delivers the greatest rewards when we don't operate from its only business type of mantra. Unbridled ambition could cause us to get ahead at any cost. But this transit reminds us that while we can go fast alone, we can go further when we work together. The downside to Jupiter in Capricorn is that we can become more attracted to power and the people who possess it. We might chase power blindly, giving away our own control if we're not careful. But this undermines our collective strength. Each of us is a leader with a unique perspective and a wisdom that contributes to our shared well-being. And then it goes on to talk about what it means when Jupiter is retrograde in Capricorn and if one was born with Jupiter in Capricorn in their personal natal chart. So if you want to continue to read from the same place I was reading, again, I was on tarot.com's Jupiter in Capricorn page. And with that, we'll get to the dice. This week, we're beginning with buy shoes. A lot of sales. I'm doing this reading actually today, Black Friday, November 29th, 11/11. So many of us may want to buy shoes at a discount. Also, email. Maybe you receive the discount in your email. Or this could be about you contacting somebody or somebody contacting you. And lastly, weekend away, which is pretty straightforward. It could be talking about this weekend. Like I said, the weekend is just starting. Today is Friday, so maybe some of us taking a long weekend, visiting family, or just getting away. Weekend away. And Spirit says no. So some yes or no questions that we may be pondering. Actually, the card that's representing us this week in this spread is the Hangman upright, and that can be about a yes or no, like coming to some sort of crossroad, and it's up or down, yes or no, this or that. Like there's no in between. We got to be definitive about our choices when we get to this crossroad. So Spirit says no. Like if you're just trying to figure it out and you're not sure. Also 29, which again today is the 29th. So 11, spiritual partnership is what this represents. That doesn't necessarily mean romantic, but absolutely it can be. And speaking of romantic dinner showing up. Happy birthday to any Sages celebrating this week. My daughter just celebrated yesterday, Thanksgiving Day. All right, let's get into it. So like I said, the Hangman upright is representative of coming to a crossroad and needing to make some sort of yes or no decision. Very, definitive. The Hangman is also a very spiritual card, so we can get into what it may mean in that regard. Represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot. And just now when I was reading about the Capricorn, the Jupiter and Capricorn transit, they talked about how this transit can affect our, fantasies and dreams and such, make us not so much maybe dream and fantasy oriented. But contrary to that, the energy of Pisces, or Neptune located in Pisces, in retrograde shadow, because it went direct last week, could still be causing us to, or will continue to cause us actually to dream and to fantasize and such, because that's what it means for Neptune to have gone direct. If you're needing to make a decision and you're just feeling really confused about it, and you don't want to just say no, like the dice suggested, then it means it's time. So this is where you get into the spiritual aspects a little bit. It's time to just like pause and take a break, pull back, do some meditation maybe, or just, find some sort of time to yourself, whatever gives you peace. If it's not and clarity, if it's not meditation, whatever that is, do that. And that can also be why the Four of Air or Swords is here. This card can also be about rest, recovery, the need to make a decision and to be still in order to do that. The need for a break from others, friends, family, romantic partners, work. You need a vacation. Four of Air or Swords represents all of that. It's time to rest or to take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. This card is also, for me, when it comes to like a vacation, about the planning stages. So somebody may be planning now, for example, to maybe go away for Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa or whatever it is you may be celebrating in the next holiday. The planning stages. And then the Six of Swords or Air would be the actual time for travel. Behind that Four of Air is the Three of Earth. So you could be deciding, right, about some sort of collaboration, what you're going to do, maybe something having to do with work, some sort of group project, deciding how to go about it, with whom to work, if you have that option. The Three of Earth can also be about, parties of three in general, what I call a party of three, not necessarily a love triangle, but that's also a possibility. So there could be something going on with that. And maybe you decide, well, okay, I got to pull back from this to see if I want to be a part of this, if I want to let the relationship continue, or if I want to remove myself, or whatever's going to happen. Three of Earth for me, also, more importantly, really for me, is about abundance that is earned. Very similar to the feeling that I get from Major Arcana card Judgment. So whether it's money, the material, love, any kind of abundance, you're getting it because you deserve it. Also, it can be about ascension, as can the Hangman. Again, it's a very spiritual card for me. So ascension and growth and expansion in that sense, maybe courtesy of Jupiter this week. In Capricorn, right? So in like this earth sign Capricorn. And if the universe promotes you, gives you a raise, lifts you up, it'll definitely show up down here as well, because as above, so below. And maybe that's going to come in the form of some sort of inheritance or something with the 10 of Autumn. So that we can segue right into that, Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So the 10 of Autumn can just be about surrounding yourself with family and love and having get-togethers. And again, it's holiday time. There's a lot of this going on. But for me, it can also be about abundance coming in, and often lump sum abundance, or some sort of temporary abundance. So like maybe a temporary increase in your pay because you're working holiday hours and overtime or something like that can be coming with this. Or also some sort of inheritance, and maybe like an asset, a family home or something, especially because behind it, I didn't realize this before, but now we can see Major Arcana card 16, life experience, or the Tower is immediately behind it. So this can have to do with an actual tower or structure like a home. This can definitely be, be representing somebody left us a home, or somebody left, you a home. And maybe, unfortunately, because the 5 of Wands is our overall energy over here, maybe there's fighting over it. Sometimes that's, sadly what happens with inheritances. It's like who got it or who's in charge of the will. The parents didn't pick the right person in our mind. They pick, the one sibling that tends not to do right, and so the rest of us are mad. It's that kind of thing that, it happens in families a lot. So just keeping it real, really. 5 of Wands, otherwise about competition, often at work, or from a traditional perspective as it relates to the tarot, first and foremost, it's like competition at work. But for me, this card is also about... It's about conflict, and if it's not about internal conflict, then more times than not, it tends to be about conflict at work. So that could also be connected to this party of 3, and maybe why you need to take a break, or maybe the boss tells you to take a break, sends you home. So how they say, okay, clock out or take a vacation. You need to regroup or whatever it is. That could be happening. Or it could be like family members, like I said, bickering over something or fighting over something. If it's not one person who's just like conflicted, which it can also be, again, with our overall energy being the Hangman, and there's some sort of yes or no decision that we need to make. Up or down, yes or no, this or that. What are we going to do? What else we got here? Ear chakras from the angel therapy cards. Forgot what the deck was called for a second. Ear chakras. So we may hear something, music, or some other words, synchronicities, signs that we need to take note of, because it's a message to us that we're ascending in that area, right? In the area of ear chakras, we are expanding so that we can hear things in a different way, and receive intuitive messages through what we hear. And you can sort of tell when it's happening, or at least I could. The first time I ever experienced this, like I knew right away that it had happened. I was walking home from school, and all of a sudden my ear, like it just sounded like it went like pop, like a loud pop from inside. The kind that, similar to what you get like when you have a cold or you've been on an airplane or something, and then your ears open. This was just completely random. I was just walking down the block, and it was like pop. And all of a sudden I just felt like I was in a different like space and time than everybody else. And I was hearing things in a very sensitive way. Like I just felt like, I was gonna say like an animal. We are animals though, but how lower animals have like very pristine hearing, like a dog, like my ears popping up, and I could hear every single sound that was around me, like things that maybe I normally wouldn't hear or make note of. And I knew from then that I was experiencing clairaudience, and that my clairaudience was being triggered and was about to open. And so like I looked it up and that was like my first experience with it. Anyway, I think that some of you may be experiencing that this week, with both ear chakras and the Hangman being here, as well as that 4 Where did it go? Oh, here. I was going to say that Four of Swords. Again, and the need for a break and stuff, it might be because we're going through an ascension period. And you may be forced to like sleep, lay down. That can happen with ascension too. The Two of Swords in reverse, that's in this position of energy surrounding us. So like for those of you who've never seen me do this sort of spread before, this placement here represents the energy that is most directly ours, right? And then this is like surrounding. So it could be some of your energy and or friends, family, co-workers, close people that are close to you. This is work and finance, and this is love and relationship. So in this position, the Two of Swords in reverse could be saying that somebody could be making a decision about us, a relationship that they have with us, or we could be making a conscious decision about a relationship that we have with another or with others. And in some cases, that may be with somebody who was part of our life before, in our past, and they're returning. And, in some cases, we're going to decide not to become, re-involved with this person or involved for the first time with this person if we were never, romantically linked or something, with the Six of Cups in reverse here in the position of love and romance. But I'll get to that one in a second. I'm going to talk just for a second about the Two of Swords in reverse. Because again, it's about partnership, first and foremost. The Two of Swords in general can be about the need to make a decision first and foremost too, though, right? It's a card of indecision. This woman, she's blindfolded, and so that's why she doesn't know what to do. But she's not thinking that she could simply put the swords down and pull the blindfold off her head. So in the meantime, she's just doing absolutely nothing and sitting there, stoic. And that could be what some of us are doing. We have a decision to make, and we're not making it. But now when it's in reverse, we likely are finally getting to the point where we're going to make a decision up or down, yes or no, yay or nay, like the Hangman guides us to do, probably about a relationship, not necessarily romantic. I'm talking about all kinds of relationships. And that's actually something that we have to be careful about when the Two of Swords shows up. Because it does mean positive things for relationships, partnerships, deepening, right? Becoming more important to you and to your life, and, more dynamic things moving about in your life, and you sort of prioritizing relationships. But that's the key. That's what we got to be careful of. There's several relationships that we have to prioritize in our lives, not just one. So we want to be careful about tunnel vision about any one relationship and not nurturing the others or not prioritizing the others in our life. Also, as it relates specifically to love, this can definitely mean, again, that things are about to move forward and to deepen, but that we should not push them forward. Like, it's a bad time to try to push them forward. Anytime is really a bad time, because chasing energy does just that. It chases away, the interest of the other person. And so definitely don't want to force anything, but if you allow things to move naturally, they're likely to deepen. And it may involve, a choice. Again, you making a choice about a relationship, or the other person making a choice about their relationship with you, whereas they could be conflicted, or you could be conflicted and you're finally making a decision, or they could be competition for somebody's time or attention, or maybe time or attention at the job and focus at the job. And that could be why the Five of Wands is here again as our overall energy. So speaking of the job, with Major Arcana card Temperance in your position of work and finance, at least as it relates specifically to work, it means that, you should have high goal dreams. This is where the dreams are coming back into play. Dreams, fantasies. You should have, big ideas. Aim high. But at the same time, not putting like unrealistic expectations on yourself or other people that, they can't necessarily meet or you can't necessarily meet. We want to, and that this could be the Capricorn stuff coming in too that I'm feeling, but that's the way the Temperance in work comes across also. Like, we want to be realistic about the things that we're actually going to achieve and complete. Like the Knight of Pentacles always reaches his goal. So the goals that we're setting, we want to make sure that we can actually meet them. As it relates to finance, there's probably a lot of good, balance happening in your finances right now. If it's not already, that's about to come in. You know what I mean? And speaking of coming in, that's what I mean. There's balance in between what's going out and what's coming in. So you're not necessarily overspending or, underspending and hoarding. It's like things are just right. But if you feel you do need to increase or to save, stack, as they say, your income, your earnings and things, then you're going to need to think, decide, meditate on, like what it is you feel you deserve. And then you're going to have to ask for that. You know what I'm saying? And not be afraid to do that. So like, courage, the strength. So maybe we'll get some like Leo energy too as I continue with this reading. The confidence to do it. And then also, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Confidence. If you have the confidence, it's going to come across, you're going to exude it, and you're going to be successful. And again, that could be another reason why the 10 of Autumn is here, because it's a success. And that can be another reason why the Tower is behind it, because again, the Tower for me is not necessarily a negative card. It just means something comes in very quickly, unexpectedly, it happens. So you could very quickly go in, say, look, I deserve to be making X amount of dollars. I contribute this to your company, to your establishment, your organization, and I'm not being compensated for it. And then very quickly they could say, you know what, we agree. Boom, here's a promotion, here's a raise, whatever. So you look like you deserve it, like believe that you deserve it. It's about believing and receiving. And speaking of that, we've had a lot of success with that. I've been seeing all kinds of abundance over the past few weeks, and I've heard really, really wonderful things. Today, one of my clients, this is only one person, emailed me about like 4 different instances of abundance that she had. And then she PayPal'd me, $25, like tithes, because that's one of the things we're meant to do, like to support our, those from whom we get our spiritual, let's not be all of our spiritual guidance or, support, but those from whom we feel we get that kind of support. That's really what it's supposed to be, what tides are supposed to be, is, sort of putting out the abundance to those people, sharing it, and then we continue to reap it. And she did continue to reap it. Then after she told me about, like I said, like 3 or 4 different instances of abundance, extra money that had just sort of come in out of nowhere, like the Tower, with the 10 of Pentacles could mean. Then she went to pay for her layaway with some of this money that had just fallen out of the sky, and someone had paid for her layaway already too. So, it's just really, really, really possible to manifest this abundance if you, again, are confident and, have the strength to do the work that's associated with it and to ask for what it is you deserve. And you have the faith that, can come to pass, then this is all really, really possible. Because even if you think of manifestation in terms of prayer, the scriptures say prayer without works is dead. That means if you don't put the work behind it and do the extra effort that needs to accompany the words, then the prayers are not going to work either, is what that means. Lastly, on the love front, separate and apart from what I said about perhaps somebody coming in from our past and us deciding that we are no longer interested in dealing with them, or we're not interested for the first time in trying it. We've thought about it, and yes or no, the answer is no. In addition to that, the 6 of Cups in reverse can also mean that there's like been issues in our love life, whether single or committed, right, that we have sort of ignored, swept under the rug, hoped would go away. That's another thing the 2 of Swords means. So like I always say about the 2 of Swords, it gives me a feel of like, when bills come in the mail and we just sort of toss them to the side and they become a pile, as if like if we don't open them, then they go away, they disappear, and we don't have to pay them. That's what we've been doing with issues that have been coming up in our love life. When the 6 of cups rather, shows up in the position of love and finance. I mean, love and finance, love and relationship. So, yeah, if we're in a committed relationship, then we're going to have to, as a couple, begin to deal with some of these things. They're going to pop up. Maybe, come out of nowhere, sort of tower-like, if we keep trying to avoid them, right? And then you're going to be like forced to deal with them. And now you got to make a decision. What is it going to be? Like that song by In Vogue, what's it going to be? It could be something like that. What's it going to be? I can't pretend. Don't you want to be more than friends? You might have to make some sort of decision of that nature. If we are single and interested in having a relationship, some people are happy being single and they're not looking for anything, and that's awesome too. And in your case, your other relationships could be deepening, or you could be presented and met with other options from people. Or maybe you're met with somebody who's interested in you and you're the one that's saying, no, thank you. I'm disinterested. Aside from that, the Six of Cups showing up in reverse for a single person could mean that you've been sweeping things under the rug too. Like you need to take a look at yourself and figure out what it is perhaps that you're doing or not doing as it relates to, bringing love or potential love into your life or meeting people. I just talked about money falling out of the sky for one of my clients, but, love doesn't necessarily fall out of the sky for people. It's something that we have to, make ourselves available for, put ourselves out there for. So that could be another reason why, again, this Four of Air or Four of Swords is showing up here to say, maybe we need to take a step back, take a break, spend some time with ourselves to figure out, have we been making ourselves physically available, emotionally available to relationships? All right, so on that note, I'm going to go on to the next spread. Just stack these up here so that later we can take one from the top. Put these aside for a second. Start with these. So, this will be the masculine's side column, masculine archetype. Those who identify, whether male, female, or other than that. If you identify as a masculine archetype, this side. Feminine archetype, this side. You feel a little bit of both sides. Fine by me, all of it. This is a shared column, crowning and the foundation or the root. So sort of like, how did we get here to this other part? And the heart of the matter. So like the particular focus here in the middle. Again, overall energy, 10 of autumn. I'll put that here. Crowning the masculine. The Princess of Summer, sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer for me is a Pisces, like the Hanged Man from the original spread. So a Pisces could be particularly significant this week. Also potentially a Cancer or a Scorpio, or, anyone likened to these traits or attributes, perhaps someone that is younger than you. And pages bring news. This one brings news that's going to put a smile on your face, make your heart smile too. It's happy news, pleasant news, regardless of where it's from. So if it's from a job, it's about your raise, right? Something like that. It's about your promotion. It's happy news, or increased hours so that you can make more money. You're being, put on the shift or whatever it is. If it's from a friend or a family member, it's something that's going to make you happy, going to make you smile. It could be about an inheritance, right? Coming in with this overall energy of the 10 of autumn. You've been mentioned in the will, or something like that. By somebody, that you love, somebody that cared about you and that you cared about. They left you something. This could also be you reaching out to somebody or somebody reaching out to you, maybe for a date or something like that. Get together. Surrounding the masculine this week. Major Arcana card 18, the moon, which also represents the sign of Pisces. Again, Pisces can be very, very significant this week. Also, this can be telling us to pay extremely close attention to your intuition and maybe specifically ear chakras, right? Clear audience, things that you hear out in the world, maybe how you get your messages more so than usual. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Yeah, you could be totally in the dark about what's next, right? But if you're being guided to go up to a point, then go up to that point. Like, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, listen to your heart and what it's telling you. Like how I said about the readings, right? I'm being guided to consider something and to go up to that point. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if YouTube is going to keep my channel or not, regardless of what I do. I don't know if the universe is going to decide it wants me to continue to do these readings or not. You know, I have no idea, but I'm going with what I've been guided to do thus far, and we'll worry about the rest later. Or not, actually. We won't worry about the rest later, because if you pray, don't worry, and if you worry, don't pray. That's the way my mother always taught me. And I do pray, I do manifest, I do make focused intentions. So I don't have to worry about anything. That's the guidance for you as well. If it's not a Pisces, a Cancer may be particularly significant, and then a Scorpio, if it's a direct water sign. In that order: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. At masculine subconscious. 5 of Winter. So in his mind, he is conflicted about something. What we saw in the first spread. Conflicted about something. And maybe even in conflict with another person, but particularly in this placement of masculine subconscious, this is more likely his thoughts. So maybe he's at that crossroad of the yes or no. Maybe yes or no, am I going to reach out to somebody and make some sort of offer of love? Maybe yes or no, am I going to accept someone else's offer of love? You know, I don't know where that's going to take me, where that's going to lead. Should I follow my gut? Should I follow my heart? Again, I say the answer is yes. This is conflict. Crowning the feminine, the 10 of Summer, or 10 of Cups. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order and a happy filling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. So yes, some of us definitely could be welcoming children this week, or have a family member or a friend or something that's close to us giving birth this week, expanding their family in one way or another, even if it's pets. You know, a lot of times people give pets for holiday gifts and birthdays and things. People get a new puppy, a new cat, all that kind of stuff. So that could be. Also, a lot of babies are born at this time of year, Scorpios and Sagittarius, because of Valentine's Day, right? I think that's how I ended up with a Scorpio and a Sag. In any case, this is also about maybe being surrounded by family or a loved one. Doesn't have to be a whole bunch of people. Just feeling loved, feeling appreciated, and making others feel the same way. 10 of Cups. Could be representative of the get-togethers and things. Maybe we're memorializing somebody, we're remembering someone, recognizing them. Again, perhaps maybe they've left us something, some sort of inheritance, or we're just thinking back on somebody and having fond memories, and appreciating their time on this earth and what they gave to us. In that, how we benefited, how we grew from knowing, how we were better for having known someone. Yeah, it could be being nostalgic in general. The person doesn't necessarily have to have passed away, but there's some sort of separation in the case of, I don't know, somebody. So we're being more nostalgic, then it's not a physical presence of this love and emotion, but they're surrounding us still. And we're just not thinking about anything else. When the 10 of Summer and the 10 of Autumn, or the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles are there, we are content. In this moment that we're experiencing this feeling feminine, we're not thinking about, money and work and, the trials of 3D life, the earthly. We're just happy again to be alive and to feel love and to be able to give love to other people. Feminine surrounded by the Princess of Autumn, cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. Could particularly involve a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Maybe Capricorn first, although it's in autumn. So maybe although it's a page, a princess. So maybe a younger Capricorn, particularly significant. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. So again, as I was saying about what we're due, and in terms of going after more hours or taking an opportunity to ask for a raise or a promotion or to transfer, to make some sort of changes, to increase our own abundance, there is some sort of option like that coming up for the feminine this week. And or, again, an earth sign could be particularly significant. Maybe Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, in that order. Feminine subconscious, the Eight of Spring. So things going on behind the scenes. Why? Because karma, right? Eights represent karma. The Eight of Spring or Eight of Wands is always a positive card for me. So this is Jupiter working behind the scenes on our behalf. This is the Jupiter in Capricorn. Okay, this is it right here. Jupiter, the god and planet of karma. Okay, number 8, karma in Capricorn. So this is him making things happen for us this week. We don't know what's happening. It's going on behind the scenes, but it's to our benefit. It's going to cause opportunities to come across us, to cross our paths. The Two of Summer. There's your partnership. What I say in the other spread. Partnerships will be deepening, right? Whether they're friendships, familial relationships, or romantic partnerships, deepening. Don't push them, though. Don't force them. Look at all this love and emotion that is crowning. Just allow it to unfold organically and naturally, and it will continue to come in. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationships. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can also still be saved. Don't give up. At the foundation, the root, Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. This Major Arcana card 4 represents for me the planet Mars, the ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Scorpio, which Mars entered last week. So that could be what's here at the foundation. That could be what ignited the rest of the stuff too, right? Mars, the planet of action and aggression, putting things into play for us. Also, the Emperor is representative of an authority or father figure, an actual father, a married man, a divorcee, a widower, is what it represents for me. Also, it's about being in control of your own life. So maybe you took back control, and that's what, allowed these other things to begin to start happening for you. You started to get things in order and to organize your life. And so then things started to fall into play for you. All of those are possible. At the heart of the matter, the Six of Spring. It's a card of victory. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve the attention. And with this Six of Spring, particularly for the feminine, sitting here next to the Princess of Autumn or Page of Pentacles, wonderful possibilities for a job, maybe even being promoted to like a supervisory position, a boss, a manager, or beginning, opening your own company or starting your own thing. With the Emperor also sitting here, it could definitely be representative of a boss or something, or coming into contact with a large corporation or organization, some sort of larger entity that can provide you with opportunities. I'm going to further clarify these with the Angel Tarot by just, there's 2 there. maybe 3. I don't know how that happened. It just did, and I'm leaving it. Masculine with a bunch of cards crowning there. There's 2 here too. Again, the heart. Okay. Then the overall energy, as a reminder, is the 4 of air, a 4 of swords. All about rest, recovery, a break, a vacation, meditation on a decision. Crowning the masculine atop, the princess of summer. We have the 3 of summer, water, cups, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. That can definitely be what the princess of summer represents. Like I said, it could be a younger person, maybe even a baby. Somebody may give birth this week, which I definitely felt it for the feminine with the 10 of cups. So if I feel it for the feminine, it has to happen for the masculine and some males too. You know what I mean? So that could definitely be for some of us. Either we're having a baby or someone close to us is, or we're finding out that we are pregnant, so we'll have a baby in the future. Or again, somebody close to us will have a baby in the future. For others, this is getting, hooking up with friends, reuniting with people, with the 3 of water, being social or being invited out for a social event. Again, I remember I said somebody may ask you out on a date, or you may ask somebody out on a date, and this is it actually coming to fruition and happening. That's being joined with the page of earth. So we have a page of earth here, or pentacles, and we got one here. So maybe again, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, particularly significant. The page of earth is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. So we could also be celebrating something like that, right? We get good news about something going on at work. Maybe we've been hired for a job for which we applied, or we're getting a promotion, we're getting a raise, we're getting transferred to where we want to be, or we're getting the additional hours, again, whatever it is. And that puts a smile on our face. We're celebrating. I'm going to go out and have a drink because of that. And any fear about whether not to proceed or how to proceed is self-imposed, is not real. It's an illusion, right? An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. So masculine, this is going to be important on you, for you to relieve yourself of, maybe by doing some meditation, yoga, spending some time alone, just finding your zen, peace, chi, and letting go of any fear that you have pent up. Maybe you should listen to something like some binaural tones or something. Those can help us to release fear. Whatever you need to do in order to let that go, so that you can bring this opportunity in and manifest it successfully. Surrounding the masculine, atop the moon, major arcana card, the moon, is another 5 of air, or swords. Remember, he had one down here. He was conflicted. So again, there's a conflict, again, maybe involving specifically a Pisces, because now we got this Piscean energy both here and here. Or it's because, again, he's confused. He doesn't know how to proceed. So it's not necessarily Pisces a person. It's Pisces, the energy of fantasies and options, and which one do I choose? I'm conflicted. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. This is warning you of the potential to make an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. So if there's other people getting involved in what you're needing to do, maybe somebody trying to talk you out of your own abundance and whatever, and make you feel that you're limited when you really aren't, that could be what this is showing up to say. Be careful of that. Someone else's fear, right? Somebody else imposing their fear upon you, making you afraid to proceed without having all the details. We don't always get all the details. And that's what the moon means. But we're guided to keep going anyway. But maybe somebody else is like, trying to scare you out of it. Could be because of jealousy. They're not getting the opportunity. So, why help you have it? Misery loves company. Let me talk this person out of their blessing. So be careful of that, masculine. Atop, and maybe that person is a Pisces also, or a direct water sign. If you have somebody in your life that what I just described could potentially represent, further to that, to pinpoint it, they may be a water sign, and maybe more specifically a Pisces. Atop the 5 of winter. Again, what you're conflicted? A partnership. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. continue to move forward. So a partnership or a contract. Again, the contract could be new job, new opportunity or something. Do I take it? Do I not take it? I'm conflicted about that. Or do I enter this commitment? Do I enter this partnership? Do I not enter this partnership? Do I allow it to deepen? Do we take the next step? Do we not? So that's what's going on with the masculine here. Crowning the feminine atop that 10 of Cups is the Ace of Earth. Again, somebody could be having a baby for sure, or some other blessing is coming in. This is abundance, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and maybe even important documents or contracts needing to be signed. So like I said, this can be inheritance. This can be a new job. This can be you starting your own company, or being blessed with that, with the loans, with the investors, whatever it is you need in order to do that. Something is coming in, and it makes you feel loved, and it makes you feel like you can provide love to others or to another. Surrounding the feminine atop her page of autumn or pentacles, because the masculine's got one too right here. Top ours is the 3 of air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. So for some, again, this is involving some sort of relationship issue. Both the masculine and the feminine have this page of pentacles, page of coins, whatever you want to call it, attached to an air energy that is restrictive, or potentially connected to pain, loss, separation, hurt. Does not have to be from now. It could be from a past situation, because we have like one door closing and one more opening. So we have this new abundance that's coming in, and maybe this is associated with a past abundance. This can be that person from the first spread that I was saying that returns to your life, right? It's a reunion. 3 of water. It's a reunion. But then I decide, you know what? I'm not interested. You know what? This person hurt me before. I'm not going to take the chance again, or something like that. Atop the 8 of spring or wands, the 10 of air. See, this is the end of the difficulty, the end of the feelings of pain, the end of the separation. One door closing, another one opening. The end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now, right? Have the expectation that things are going to be good. Believe it and receive it. Somebody could even be recovering from an addiction. And an addiction doesn't have to necessarily mean like substance abuse, like alcohol or drugs. It could be sex. It could be to a particular person. You were addicted to a person and they were toxic for you, or to behaviors, to places to hang out, that weren't conducive to your growth, whatever it is. And you could finally be breaking those habits. Crowning atop the 2 of summer or 2 of cups is the 9 of water. So something for which we've been praying, involving a partnership, coming true. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away and you have a love of life. Atop the Emperor. For some of us, we could be wishing for, an end of a relationship too. That's toxic. Like, I need a way out. And I'm thinking of that because the 8 of Swords is here. We could be wanting out of a relationship, and that could be coming true also. Maybe that's why we've gotten our control back. Atop the Emperor, speaking of the Emperor, is the 3 of fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. Again, don't force it. Don't chase anything or anyone. Manifest it. All right, so bring it to you, allow it to come naturally. With the 3 of fire, it means your manifestation thus far is successful. You made it past step 1 with the idea, the thought. You made it past step 2. You had the faith that it would come to fruition. It's beginning to actually materialize now. You can see it taking form. It's in a tangible way, but it's not quite done yet. So you may have to be patient for the rest to play out, for the rest to happen, right? And don't try to force it, because then you could mess it up. Block the blessing. 3 of fire, also, again, potentially having something to do with some sort of party of 3. Not necessarily a love triangle, but quite possible, especially because it is fire or wands. And sitting here atop the Emperor, which I said for me could involve like a married man or something. That could be what the Three of Fire is about. And it's crossing the Three of Air. So maybe we, you know, have to let go of a married man, or we experience some sort of pain, betrayal with somebody who was attached. Maybe they were attached to us and they betrayed us. With the Ten of Air also here, that still on the feminine's mind. Maybe this week she's letting it go so that she can make way for a new abundance to come in. Let that door close so this one can open. Maybe that's about what she needs to decide. What am I going to do about the Party of Three? At the heart of the matter, we have two cards. Atop the Six of Wands, which is all about victory, right? Positivity. So is this. Victory. The Chariot is the ultimate card of victory. Major Arcana card 7. It represents the sign of Cancer. I knew I felt Cancer second to Pisces before in terms of strength. I wasn't sure exactly why at the time, but I said Pisces, Cancer, then Scorpio. This card represents the sign of Cancer. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, also public recognition. And it's sitting here atop the Six of Spring. So both of these cards are about important achievement, about victory, about success, about, you know, you being in the driver's seat, you being the manifester, you know, of your own destiny, the creator of your own destiny. So you're turning thoughts into reality very successfully. This could also be, again, be about ascension, be about promotion, success in love, success in other relationships, you know, success in getting past and beyond a hurt or having gone down the wrong path for a time, you know, successfully redirecting yourself. All of that is coming with this. And for some, again, specifically at work, I told you the Five of Fire for me can be about specifically at work and or with close friends and or family. But I think in terms of success, if it's a relationship, we've, again, successfully either healed the relationship or successfully, like, amicably split, right? Or in terms of work, you are coming out on top. You are succeeding in something, and the energy of this victory and success is very, very strong with both the Chariot and the Six of Spring here. Also, for some of us, we're traveling, we're moving, whether metaphoric or literal. But for some of us, we're literally moving, right? We had the Tower before, very close. So that's like a new structure. It could be a new home into which we're moving. Chariot can be about that. Some of us may be deciding to cohabitate. That's coming up. And also with the Four of Air as the overall energy, again, this can be about planning a move, planning a vacation. So all of these things possible, and not only possible, but likely to be going on with those who will watch this reading this week, whoever you are. Then further to that, we have these advice cards and one per archetype from the angel therapy cards, again with an overall energy of ear chakra. But for the masculine, from the angel therapy cards, also heart chakra. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Remember, we're debating, what am I going to do? What's the answer? It's in your heart. That's what you're going to do. You're going to listen to your heart. Be open to giving and receiving love as well. For the feminine, ascended masters. Maybe that's what all the threes are about. You know, threes are representative of the ascended masters and of the creator. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. So you are protected, feminine, is your message. From the the animal tarot to the masculine, Major Arcana card 20, renewal or judgment, which I said was one of my favorites earlier, right? It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment. So if we had some sort of conflict with another person, whether brought on by the Five of Air, which the masculine has two of, or the Five of Wands, or both, or all of the above, we can get beyond the conflict in an amicable way. You know, even if it means parting ways, right? We're just not going to continue to hold on to blame or guilt or to place it on another person. Also, this card is about second chances, second time around. So when we tried something before and it didn't work out, or we had an opportunity come our way before and we didn't take it. It passed us by, but it's back. You know, whether it's, again, having to do with work or relationship or whatever. Could very well be relationship. This is another 2. So we've got tons of 2s and 3s in this reading this week. Also, judgment is about a crossroad, like the hangman from our first spread. Coming to a crossroad and needing to decide in some sort of relationship or partnership, where do we go from here, if anywhere? Right? Some of us are going to go all the way. Some of us aren't going any further. We're going to decide, you know what? Done with this, right? It's not working. Some of us may go down from a party of 3 to a party of 2. May decide, I'm over this and I'm ready for this. But make room for all your relationships, right? Don't get overly focused on one and forget to prioritize your other relationships in your life, you know, with your children, at your job, you know, with your other family members, your parents or your friends or whatever. We've got to prioritize all of those. Also, judgment is about abundance that is earned for me, just like the 3 of Pentacles, but of course a lot more stronger because this is major arcana. So some sort of abundance coming in. Again, this could be also be connected to inheritance and things like that, or promotion, raise, growth, expansion. Represents for me the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. For the feminine, I told you, brand new path. One door closing, another one opening. Brand new. Never walked this path before. Major Arcana card 0. The Dreamer or the Fool. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Some of us' divorce may be final as of this week or something too. Right, we're divorcing the Emperor. From the Animal Tarot, lastly to the masculine. You've got your own 8 of Fire. The feminine have one here. And now you've got one in your advice. The 8 of Wands. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once. This is, again, all good news from the way that I read the 8 of Wands. It's never felt negative to me. It's about the universe working behind the scenes on our behalf. It can also be about communication. So again, we may be reaching out to somebody to make some sort of offer of love, maybe with the Page of Cups sitting here, or we may be receiving those offers, maybe for the second time, right? Second time around. Let's try this again. And this time I'll open my heart to it, because I was maybe emotionally unavailable before, and that was not the right path for me. Right, the right path, probably not the right path for anybody to be like that. The right path is to be open and to listen and follow your heart. Lastly, for the feminine, it's another 2. The 2 of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. So again, very likely about a decision about the earthly. So again, how many hours you're working, whether or not you're nurturing yourself or others in your family. There's balance in your life. All work and no play makes Jane a dull girl. You got to spend time with, you know, loved ones also too. This 10 of Pentacles is important. This 10 of Cups is important, right? Making room for everything in your life. And it may involve a decision that has to be made. You may have to decide whether or not to cut back on something to make something else possible, or to increase something in order to make something else possible. You know, it'll apply to everybody differently. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the weekly general reading. Think about whether you want me to continue making them. I will be back with the love reading very, very soon. Thanks again for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Don't forget to do it this time, either. I appreciate it. Namaste.